What's up, YouTube? Just some crypto trading guy here bringing you another crypto trading bot video. Oh, excuse me. So tonight we're going to go over the installation of Margin, formerly known as the Leonardo trading bot. So while I was away on holidays, they rebranded themselves from Leonardo to Margin. I mean, Margin was always in the Leonardo name prior, but they've dropped the Leonardo name. Looks like completely now. And with that, they brought out a new version of their application. So earlier today, I uninstalled Leonardo on this particular machine, and we're going to go over the installation of it together. You'll get a sneak peek at it, and then in future videos, you'll get to see me covering the settings and configurations, some of the strategies, and how I use it on day-to-day trades. Now, one thing to note is margin can be used just as a trading bot if that's all you're after, but it's much more than just a trading bot. You can use margin and additional trading bots. I use quite a few trading bots, and I use margin on a day-to-day basis myself. Right now, it's you know, you can do your day trades with it, not just using the bot functionality. It does differ a little bit from other trading bots in terms of some of the strategies you can set, but um, you'll see what I mean in future videos. So head on over to margin.de, um, and I'll include this link in the description for your convenience. Otherwise, you can just manually type it in margin.de. It'll take you here. Starting off with your features, like I said, we'll go over some of the technical indicators and strategies and settings and configurations in future videos. Security. Um, One thing to note is Margin is local to your computer. It's not cloud-based. So once you set it up on your computer and you get your APIs registered with your exchange and put into your Margin, the data is just going back and forth between your computer and the exchange. The only time that this communicates outside is to ensure that your license is valid. So your data is not going up into the cloud, and it's not going through their servers. Um, Pricing. Um, you can do monthly or you can do annually. Monthly is a little bit more expensive than the annual. I think once you've played with the free demo, you'll agree that an annual isn't going to be much of a problem. Um, you'll make this money back in no time. I guarantee you. Well, maybe this one here, depending on how much money you're pumping into it, it could take a little bit longer. But with either one of these packages here, I mean, they've paid for themselves. I mean, I've set up Margin here just a couple days, the newest version a couple days ago, and I mean, it would have already paid for itself here within a couple days. I mean, it's helped that the market has been really good lately. But if you want to do monthly just to get your feet wet, you can come in here and do the starter at 19 or the standard at 39. But you will save 50 bucks or $48 a year if you go with the annual, and you'll save $120 a year if you do the standard. And this is what I'm currently using is the standard, simply because you can do all exchanges. With the starter, you can do one exchange. So even if you have multiple ones, make sure you choose which one you want to do. Um, you want to do Bittrex or Binance when you're doing your login and registering your API. If you use multiple exchanges, go with the standard. That's one thing I do like about a Margin as well, is you go from one exchange to all exchanges. There's no phase in between. Some other trading bots out there, they'll cap you on one exchange. Some of them are 2 or 3 exchanges, but it's a considerable amount more. And the professional package, I'm not even going to go over that. I don't have an unlimited balance. And if I did, then I would definitely want to have multiple APIs per exchange. So if I can get some more details on this, I mean, we can cover this in future videos, but But at the moment, I mean, they're fairly similar, except you got the limitations from what I can see on the balances and the multiple APIs. And the reason why you would want to have multiple APIs is because some exchanges, depending on the amount of pairs you have and the amount of trading traffic you're creating, they limit you on how much you can hammer their servers with your APIs. So there is a benefit to using multiple APIs. And you'll hear me going over some of that maybe with some of the other trading bots because it's not just margin here. I mean, it's like this with all trading bot. It is exchange dependent, you know, with Bittrex being a little more on the stricter side than Binance. Actually, you'll even see that in the setup here, I think, when we're choosing our pairs. I'll show you real quick if I don't forget. Resources, you come in here, you've got tutorials. If you want to watch the video tutorials on getting started, it is a little sparse. I'm hoping that they'll eventually add more videos. I think they got what, one, two, they got three. I mean, I guess after you've watched it three, you've always got mine, right? So I would like to see them add more videos though. Otherwise, you know, like I said, you've always got mine when you're checking out configurations and settings and how to use it. Then you have the Help Center. If you have any questions about how something works or you know, can you use a VPS? Lots of people use VPSs. I don't. I like to have my own servers. But if you do, you can come over here and check it out. But if you have questions about the trading bots strategies, you can come down here. How does the static ping pong work, right? That's fairly popular. It's common. Most bots have that one. Same with how does the Bollinger Bands bot work? Fairly common. Again, you know, it's probably one of the more popular strategies that I see on most of the bots. And how does the margin maker bot work? Now this one I've never seen on another bot, and I think I'm pretty certain it's unique to margin. And this is probably my number one favorite. Um, I would say out of all of my bots, I really like what they've done with the margin maker here. The flexibility and control you have. You know, it's not like it's using SMAs or EMAs or, um, you know, there's some things that I'm going to recommend eventually here or suggest that I think that can improve Margin Maker. But right out of the box, Margin Maker is phenomenal. It's, yeah, it's my favorite. And then you have the About Us. So I believe these guys are based out of Germany. Um, I guess you know the .de site extension probably gives that away. If you want to meet them, you can come down here, check out who they are, go through each team member, check out their credentials, you know, their past history, um, you know, who takes care of support. One thing I will add is they have phenomenal customer support. I have not been waiting for more than 24 hours to get a response. Sometimes I get a response within the same day. Like it's insane. I mean, how many people out there can say, you know, on any exchanges that they've dealt with or any of the cryptocurrency software vendors that they've been able to get back to you within 20, 30 minutes, let alone 24 hours. It's unheard of. Very rare. You know, if there is anybody else out there doing that level of support. So they have a little chat window here. You can come in and spark up a chat. Um, Eventually, I would like to get a chance to provide a lot of feedback to these two individuals here. I do have a lot of great advice and suggestions through my experience on other training bots that I think that they could use to take margin further. You know, one being security. Like you know, once you install margin and you leave it running, it's kind of open always. You know, if you have a cat or something that walks across your keyboard, or a child starts hammering away on your keyboard thinking it's like a piano or something, you don't want to inadvertently go and buy and sell a bunch of stuff. So it would be great if Margin had like a timeout feature that used some sort of password to unlock it. But yeah, that's just one idea I have out of many. But yeah, that's the team. Logging in. So once you get an account, you'll log in. Um, it's as simple as registering your API on the exchange that you plan on using. Come into here, pick the exchange that you're going to use it with, and register half or a little bit more than half of one of your API pairs. That's it. You save, and then you can go and install margin. You put your APIs into the software itself, and it validates that that partial a portion of that API matches with what you've registered on their website. And that's the kind of, I believe that's their security function, so that not anybody can just download it and use your username and your password. They actually have to have your API, and that's something you're not going to really be handing out to anybody, right? So on with the installation video. We're going to go try free demo. It's going to take you to a download page. You'll see that Margin has automatically started downloading itself. I'm going to assume that it has OS detection because it started to download the Windows 64-bit, and that's what I have. File-wise, size-wise, I mean, it's only 16, we'll say 16.2 megabytes, relatively small, not big at all. I mean, it's already done downloading. If you need a different version, or if you want to download all versions, you can come down a little bit and you go Mac OS, Windows 32, Ubuntu, and Raspberry Pi. I'm actually hoping to try the Raspberry Pi. I have to go and dig out my Raspberry Pis and see how well they work. I don't know if there's a limitation on which version of the Raspberry Pi you can use it on, but I guess I'll find out. I think I have the first iteration of Raspberry Pi, so it may not run as well. Find out. It'd be nice if they actually stated that here. And Ubuntu. I might actually try Ubuntu too. I have an old laptop kicking around with Ubuntu. Let's see if there's any visual differences, or if performance-wise it runs better. Who knows, right? Not demanding on your system at all. I mean, this computer that I'm going to be running it on now, is just an i5 with I think 8 gigs of RAM. So it's nothing to write home about. So let's click on the file we downloaded and minimize that now. That's fine. If you want to change your file path, you can. You can click on Browse and put it to any folder you want. I shouldn't have to walk you through that. If you're automatically choosing different folders, then you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, just continue with the next. Desktop, yes. Quick Launch, no. Quick Launch is just going to put an icon down here in your Quick Launch. I like to keep my taskbar somewhat clean. We'll have a desktop icon though. And install. And launch. So I like what the new logo that they picked. I think it's snazzy. All right, so first noticeable change is when you select your market, there's no demo accounts in here. I like it. It's clean now. It's a much shorter list. Before you had to scroll all the way down through the demo accounts. I like this look. I'm surprised they actually support HitBTC. You don't see too many bots out there supporting HitBTC. This is fantastic. Or even OKCoin. Like, I don't use OKCoin. I probably never would. Personal preference, but the fact that they support it is fantastic. If we choose Binance, you'll see over here it says choose currency pair 2 of 20. And if I pick Bittrex, it's 3 of 6. Now you can have more. It just says you may notice a decrease in performance. Now, it's not a decrease in performance on margin. It's a decrease in performance on your exchange side. So remember I was saying that Bittrex is a little bit more strict with the amount of traffic that you can send to and from, and why multiple APIs can be a benefit. That's why. So I've run more than 6 with Bittrex. You're not limited, even though it says 3 of 6. I can go to like 9 of 6 if I want. You can run as many as you want. You just may run into problems. So if you start getting throttling issues or an IP ban or anything like that from Bittrex, then you start reducing the number of pairs, or you start adding on the fly. So maybe have 6 constantly running all the time, and keep adding more. You can manually trade with other ones on the fly. I think it's just the number that can be running 24/7 is they recommend 6. and we're going to use Binance for this. And you can run multiple exchanges. I'll show you how to add another exchange once we're into margin, and you can run 20 pairs on here and 6 pairs on Bittrex, or more pairs, and Poloniex and Kraken and HitBTC. Margin, I haven't noticed any performance issues on margin, and I've run it against a few exchanges now. So we're going to say demo market. 1 Bitcoin is fine. I mean, you can change that if you want to play, with 5 Bitcoin. But we'll leave it at 1 for now. The initial BNB, that's if you're gonna. I mean, it's not like it's checking your actual Binance wallet, so you can put some BNB here. We'll say 2. And let's just pick some pairs to start with. So I see it's got 2 pairs picked by default. And Leonardo used to do that too. So I picked ETH BTC, so that's a good one. I'm going to leave that one. And BTC USDT. I think this one's new. I don't recall Leonardo automatically having this one selected, but I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm not much of a tetherer myself, but there are quite a few people are, and I think they'll appreciate the fact that this pair exists. So let's just pick ADA. What else? Lisk. Yeah, we'll add more pairs. Eventually, I'm gonna actually put in my account, and you guys can see what I'm swinging. It changes day to day. ONT. I mean ONT. I mean, my God, the last 48 hours, ONT's gone up like what, 30-something%. It's made me good money actually. Just ONT probably would have paid for half of a license here for 1 month, just in the last 48 hours, with the trades that I'd been doing on that one through Margin Maker and manually. We'll do QDM. I mean, if I'd have known how ONT was going to go off, I mean, it's like that way always, right? Like, only if you knew, I'd have bought a shitload more. And, just to bug you Verge haters out there, I like Verge. I'm going to add it anyways. And Verge has been doing really well the last week with the new Pornhub partnership that they've got going on. And I'm going to click login. You have to agree to the disclaimer, otherwise obviously you can't use the software. The more pairs you have, the longer it's going to take to initialize. So if you go and select 20 pairs and you notice that yours is a little slower than mine, that's why, right? So let's maximize this. This is bright white. So this is the installation of margin. That's it. You're up and running. You can switch between your pairs at the top here. You can see that it's giving me all the candle action. You can switch with your time windows. If you use your mouse scroll button, you can zoom in, zoom out. Your candles, you can expand them. You can bring in the volume over here on the right with holding down the right mouse button. You have your order book down here. Your asks, your buys, your bids. The BTC USDT option that they've added. You have your wallet. Up here you can check your balance. You'll see that I've got 2 BNB and 1 Bitcoin. If you're using it against a legitimate exchange, if you have a license, obviously if you have anything on Binance or Bittrex, it's going to bring everything in and fill in your balances. The reserved will show you anything that's on a limit order or pending. And then you have the total of both on the right hand side here. Settings and configurations. We're going to go over more of this in another video, but for now, because it's already 1:19 a.m., I'm going to change this to dark. There we go, much better. And I'm going to change this to green because I kind of like the green look. And we'll change the font real quick. We'll just go with Ubuntu. I find the Ubuntu much cleaner looking font. Personal preference. This little window over here, this is your kind of like your logbook, your notifications. So every time it makes a buy or a sell or has an issue, it logs it in here. I'll go over that in another video because there's also a way you can clear them out of here as well. Left hand side here, you have your manual trading. To add a strategy, you click on the little chess piece here, the little horse. And by default, it's Bollinger Bands. You can do static ping pong or the margin maker. So if you want to do Bollinger Bands, you can come in here. You can name your strategy if you want. Um, I'll just I'll just leave it right now default. And there's your Bollinger Bands. And now you can change the parameters of your Bollinger Bands. Like if I want to have my buy band being a little lower and my sell band, oops, being a little higher, I can. Um, you know, I'm gonna go into more of the use and setup. I don't want to give away a lot of spoilers right now. I get excited when I come in here because I just want to show you all the cool stuff that you can do. Um, but yeah, another video. What else? These are the active orders, uh, and these are our previously completed orders down here. Um, yeah, all sorts of stuff. I mean, there's some more settings in here that we're going to go into, like adding the tool windows. That's going to be a bit time consuming, but it's pretty slick. Um, if you have multi-screens or a relatively large screen, you're going to really appreciate this because you can view and watch multiple pairs at the exact same time, including indicators. It's pretty sweet. Speaking of indicators, you can come up here and you can add indicators. Like if you don't have Bollinger Bands, you come in here and you add your Bollinger Bands. You can change your parameters if you want there. Um, or you can come in here and remove them if you don't want them. Um, Same with the RSI, MACD, you know. Anyways, that's the installation of Margin. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe. If you like the installation video, hit like. I do plan on bringing out more. Like I said, the second one, we're going to go over settings and configuration. That's going to be a relatively short one because there isn't really a whole lot you have to do. Like that's the nice thing about Margin is out of the box, you're pretty well ready to go. Um, but I'm going to cover it nonetheless. And then video 3, I'm hoping to get started at the end of the week uh, to start going over the individual strategies, I think, and the day-to-day day trades and um, how to use everything you see here to start generating you some profit. Anyways, if you have any questions, ask in the comments, and I'll try and answer. If I don't answer right away, it's just because I have a job as well. So time's a little bit tight. I don't live on YouTube, but I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I'll respond to you or show you in the next video if I can. So if I see questions, you know, maybe that's how I'll go about it. If I see questions in the previous videos and I'll try and acknowledge them in the next one and just show people. You know, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm relatively new to this, so. Anyways, thanks for your guys' time, and like I said, subscribe if you want to see more. Like if you appreciated what this video brought to you. Talk to you soon.